Hey guys, this is Creeman489, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. So, yeah. I hope you enjoy. You probably already know, you probably don't know what I'm going to do differently based on the title, but whatever. I hope you enjoy. If you have kept up with my content, then you may know that I absolutely love the Bounce On games. Not only because I played them in my childhood, but because they have some of the best level designs, interesting mechanics, and a great soundtrack. But something has happened recently that I feel like I need to talk about. Bounce On is no longer available in the App Store, and the second installment can't be found either. But before I get into that, since most of my audience has no idea what Bounce On is, I need to explain what it is, and then how good of a game it is. I mean, if you know what the Bounce On series is, then just skip to the timestamp on the screen. If you don't know what Bounce On is, then that's not your fault. It was a series that was marketed mainly kids, but don't get me wrong, it was an extremely popular game, with them selling over 10 million copies. Bounce On was a side-scroller game like Mario and Sonic, except it had tilt controls. But they weren't bad tilt controls, they were pretty good tilt controls. You play as a Bounce, a small red ball who fell out of a kid's pocket. Now you have to make your way home, but along the way you end up in the land of the lost things with an evil overlord called Darlo. In the land of the lost things, you team up with a sock called Lefty and a keychain who still has his keys called Bob. After you save Bob, you can venture on to the second game, where you go on to defeat Darlo the Dollar. But at the end of the game, Lefty betrays you and turns Bob into a single key. Then you travel to the land of your own, where you end up in Apricot Smiles Daycare Center and face off against a voodoo doll. But this game is still on the App Store, so I will leave the rest to you. The Bounce On series had such great games, and it unfortunately ended after the third game. But who is there? The people behind Bounce On were Tiaphobic and Itty Bitty Games. Though on the surface, it just looks like Tiaphobic went on and did it. But they did have help from Itty Bitty Games, who carried on the Bounce On legacy by doing Bounce On Back. These first two games were absolutely amazing. Every power-up was interesting, every enemy had an interesting mechanic, and every level was fun to play. The bosses were fun to beat. Before Tiaphobic fell off the face of the earth, they made two amazing games. So, let's talk about Tiaphobic. The face behind the mask, Tiaphobic, had fallen off the face of the earth. Tiaphobic released Electrophy, but shortly after that they just fell off the face of the earth. I have not been able to find any information after December 16th of 2007 about Tiaphobic. Anything they've done, just nothing after 2007. They fell off the face of the earth, and I have no idea why. They have a large fan base, their games are great, so why did they leave? That question I cannot answer, because there's no information. But how were the first two Bounce On games lost? These games were lost because of two key things. One, these games, while having a large fan base, did not meet the criteria needed to keep going. Even free apps were able to hit bigger numbers, while Bounce On only got its peak at 10 million downloads, and that trickled to maybe 100 a month by 2018. This was not cutting it, and they need some server space, but that's not the only reason. Number 2, Tiaphobic's lack of everything. It's no secret that Tiaphobic moved on from Bounce On. Games haven't been updated in forever. This, coupled with the fact Tiaphobic cannot be found anywhere, let Apple and other people who have the game on their app store have the right to take down the game. This is sad, but is it really lost entirely? Though this game can no longer be downloaded, it still had its fans, who are out there and remember the game. And there are YouTube videos about this game. Even though this game's prime time was before YouTube had many of its followers. Most of Bounce on 1's songs were uploaded. I uploaded all of Bounce on 2's songs. The Darlow fight is up on YouTube. I posted most of World 1 from Bounce on 1. And Tiaphobic's trailers are still up. Plus, there's a video of just random gameplay. It can still be recovered if Tiaphobic re-released it, because they have to have a copy of it somewhere. You just need to find Tiaphobic, wherever they are. Not being able to play this game anymore is just heartbreaking. It was such an intuitive platformer, and there are no other games like it, except for Bounce on Back. Bounce on Back is nothing like the first two though, and it was only made by Itty Bitty Games. The legacy can continue though. If you thought these games were good, leave a comment down below telling what your favorite part of the game was. Was it the music? The level design? The bosses? The story? The overall feeling of the game? If you liked the background music, it was taken out of Bounce on 1 and 2. I will link those playlists in the description. And if you want to relive some of the levels of Bounce on 1, I will link my video in the description. This is not my normal content, but I will still ask you to like and subscribe. And if you know someone who played Bounce on, then you should share this video with them. Thank you for watching.